What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and what is going to be a recurring theme in some of these videos, but not really an ongoing series, that I'm basically going to call DIY versus OEM, where basically we're going to try and repair cars, repair parts on my cars, and see if the repairs go well or if we have to resort to buying OEM parts. So as you guys probably saw in the last videos, that my seats in the Impreza are nasty tan. Well, previously, I don't know if you guys saw them that well, they were brown, like disgusting poop brown. So since then, I have vacuumed them out, I've cleaned them up, so they're nice and back to a clean tan, but it's still tan. So basically what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and DIY this with some good old-fashioned Duplicolor vinyl fabric paint. If that can focus, I don't know if it's going to focus. This camera kind of sucks. There we go. So we got matte black, flat black, whatever, and then we got like a medium blue. Because if you guys know, the theme I'm going to go for here is kind of like a WRX STI kind of interior style look. So that is the focus of today's video. We're going to be masking these off, painting them, and it'll be the start of a reoccurring theme of DIY versus OEM. And I got a new camera, so hopefully it's a little bit better. I don't think the audio is going to be that good on it. I got some external cameras, not cameras, but external camera recording equipment coming, but it hasn't arrived yet. But I wanted to do this project. I've been wanting to do it, and I just couldn't wait any longer. And I got a few more cameras. We got a GoPro here, GoPro there, so hopefully that'll help for showing like time lapses and videos and whatnot for, you know, what we're doing here. So I'm going to switch over to the GoPros with the audio. I might talk through it, I don't know. It might just be actual time lapses because I'll be listening to music in the background. We'll see. And the video quality is probably going to change. The FOV is going to change because this thing only does 1080p. Those things do at least 1440p. So we're going to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope we don't screw up, because, you know, it'd be kind of nice if the first video in the DIY versus OEM was, you know, a success, and I didn't have to go and buy, like, you know, multi-$100 back rear seats. That being said, though, I might have a deal on some front seats and rear seats for a really, really good price near me. But even then, I'm still not wanting to spend that money. I'd rather just, you know, $30 in paint, DIY it, and then, you know, have a good back pair of seats. So we'll see. Alright, so we got the bottom part of the rear seat finally taped off, or partially taped off. The reason why I'm not taping off the whole thing is because these cans spray pretty nice, so as long as I spray it on the outsides, we shouldn't get too much in the middle. And even then, that's going to get painted. It is still a beautiful sunny summer day here in California, so these cans are already warm and ready to rock and roll. So I'm hoping the B-roll footage or whatever, the time skip, time loop, whatever footage comes out nice. I got a couple GoPros, like I said, set up in the corner. Pardon my garage, it is a shithole right now. But hopefully that'll help. Hopefully this chair will help. I know we got parts here that aren't fully taped off, but again, not too worried about that. So we got the first pass of the black on. Like I said, we're not trying to go too black, but you know what? Since that's kind of leathery that took to the material a whole lot better. This is vinyl paint, so it does adhere to this stuff really well, but you know what? You gotta wait in between coats. You gotta start with light coats. It's gonna start off looking kind of It's gonna look patchy, almost like it was burnt, set on fire. But you know what? After a few passes, because I've done this before on my EG, granted we did all black on that. This we're gonna do that medium blue in the middle. But so far, it's not looking too bad. It's kind of on par for what I was expecting. After the second pass, you know what? It's looking a little bit more black. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be that black because some Subaru STIs are kind of more gray than black, but you know what? We're kind of there. We're just going to go with it. I still see some of the brown from underneath. Obviously, I'm not going to touch it because it's still wet. Or not wet, but damp, because this stuff doesn't really, unless you glob it on, it doesn't really go on super wet. But you can kind of see in the corners and that shine, like that stuff looks really nice once it actually adheres to the material. Even the fabric, it will adhere to over time. Like that's looking a lot nicer than the first pass, that's for sure. So I think a third pass and might be good. The only problem is I am running out of the first can of black. Now, I know for a fact this blue will be more than enough because it's just literally that spot and then that backing, and then that backing for the blue. So that's not a whole lot and won't require a whole lot of passes, but I probably need to go pick up a second can of this black before we actually tackle the back piece. Alright, so we got our third coat, which is more than enough for the bottom here. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell because the gloss and the sun out there, the whatnot, but the bottom is beautifully like just black, smooth to the touch, feels good. It looks like actual black material, and again, nothing on my fingers, it just dries that nice. So again, this stuff likes to adhere to the vinyl more than it does the cushion, but it does adhere to the cushion. Like again, see, touching it perfectly fine. So the cushion will need a fourth coat, and ironically, so I was scrounging around my garage. I don't need to go buy another can just yet. I actually found an old can that's about like halfway, almost full completely, from my EG6. Alright, and after what, like 4 or 5 coats later, I lost count. We have a nice uniform, just black finish on the fabric. I'm happy with it. Again, I wish it wasn't fully black. I kind of wish it was, you know, gray or a lighter black. just because, you know, WRXs aren't exactly black like that most of the time. I don't know. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Sometimes I've seen them with gray, so it is what it is. So So, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I think the first iteration of DIY versus OEM might be a failure, only because of my user error. Honestly, I should have taped off this entire thing in the center. That's on me. But the thing is, though, this blue that we're using, it's like a medium blue, and granted, it's just the first coat, but if you could see that there, and the change between the tape, I don't really like this blue. And this tape keeps pulling up for some reason. But yeah, I don't like that blue. I wish it was more of a normal blue, but they didn't have normal blue. So they just had this medium blue. And I don't think it's going to overshadow the actual blackness there. But I'm just not a fan of that blue. I don't know. I guess I might have to bite the bullet and go get the WRX seats, which is going to cost a pretty penny, but we'll see. Like, that's just the first coat. Obviously, the first coat's very light. Maybe over time the blue will overpower the black squares in the center from where I didn't tape off, which again, that's on me. So, like, we'll see after a few coats, but I'm not really feeling too hopeful of it because, again, this blue's not very overpowering. That black is pretty overpowering, and I didn't want to go too thick because I didn't want to lose the little checkered pattern that's in the actual fabric. But so, alright, I cheated a little bit, guys. I think the first challenge of DIY versus OEM is kind of going to be a little bit of a flop. So off screen, I'm probably going to try and see what I can do to clean that. Like, completely tape off the black, try and clean that back to the brown. I don't know if that's possible, but the problem that I'm running into is not so much like, obviously, yeah, that's a big mistake, which I shouldn't have made, but this blue is ugly. Like, I know the can say medium blue, but it's more like a grayish blue. It's freaking ugly. I hate it. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. I cheated. I didn't want to tape off this. I just wanted to test it on the back piece and see what it would look like if it was blue. And it's kind of like a gray. It's kind of like a gray blue, and I personally do not like that. I was hoping more for a, well, kind of STI blue, like standard, like blue, like that WD-40 or that cup there kind of blue. Maybe not as dark, but, you know, not this. I do not like this blue, so unless I can find any other paint online that is the vinyl paint that is like just blue, or even like a lighter blue, just something that's not this, because this, I don't know how well it picks up on screen, but it's like a gray. It's like a gray blue, and it just does not fit at all that I'm looking for. And yeah, no, it just looks bad. Like the black, again, black looks beautiful. That came out perfect, like how I wanted. The blue, not so much. I don't even know where the can went. But yeah, it was called medium blue. I was kind of skeptical when I saw the lid color. I was like, it's like a few shades off of midnight blue, which I do love. But I was kind of like, screw it, we'll buy it and see how it works. And yeah, but that's probably going to do it for this episode. So the first episode of DIY versus OEM is kind of a failure. I had high hopes because I've used the black before. I've never used medium blue before, and I know the black works really good on panels and things like that. I did my entire EG6 with that, and the Subaru's going to get mostly that anyways. So I'm just kind of at a loss, guys, because like I said, I've done the EG6 with it, so I know the black works fine. I know the red works fine, but I guess these off colors like the medium blues just do not work, because yeah, that looks horrible. That looks horrible. I'm not happy with it. So if I can figure out a way to fix this, there will be an update second part video, but you'll probably see me breaking down and going and buying WRX seats, which I hear will bolt right in, but have their own kind of like little modifications for the back seats. And that's why I wanted to paint these back seats, because I didn't want to have to go through the trouble of modifying the WRX seats to make them fit. But unless I can get this blue to come out and we can find a different kind of solution, then it is what it is. So update to the last clip. So I tried basically vacuum cleaning the seats, and honestly I actually got almost all the blue and black out to where if I found a blue I could respray it and maybe fix it. I still have to do that side if I want to go through with it, but I think I might just give up, you guys, and buy the WRX seats, because you got blue in the black. Blue in the black, I don't know how it comes off on camera, but I can see it. But then, when I took off the tape, it completely just ruined the entire part of the black. And I'd have to respray it, retape it all off, redo it all again. And honestly, it's too hot outside for me to want to do that again, so yep. DIY versus OEM. OEM wins this time because that did not go as planned. Honestly, I should have done the old tape trick, like where, you take a brand new strip of tape and you put it against your shirt first so that it adheres to the surface without being too sticky, because yeah, that just ripped that all off. I could just respray that all black and whatnot, but then again I gotta clean that side, and then I gotta clean the chairs that are over there, and that's just more work that I want to do I don't want to do. So the deal I'm gonna get on the WRX seats is not that bad. I was just trying to save a couple $100, but oh well, you live and you learn. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my failure. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments to maybe try to fix this, leave them in the comment section below, because I read you guys' comments. I try to respond when I can. The seat's still in good shape. I guess I could just spray the whole damn thing black and just call it as it is, but I didn't want to do that. I may clean that and end up just spraying it black, and it's probably not going to go back in the car because we're going to just get the WRX seats. But hey, you know what? Life is full of experiences. You win some, you lose some. This is just a loss. And in all honesty, it's not a big loss. I lost $30 in paint, like $2 in tape, and an afternoon, morning, whatever, just making a video for you guys. So hey, at least hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I don't know what's coming in next. I got stuff coming in the mail. I'm gonna try and get the WRX version 2 bumper for this. I gotta drive like an hour and a half away to go get it. I want to get the upgraded grill, which I might try to acquire today. Hood, obviously, still gotta try and find one of those. As for valve cover gaskets, that's going to be its own little video and stuff like that, just so we can get the car back on the road. And then yes, I know the big elephant in the room, the glass is still broken. The shop has to order it, and I have to have the spare money, $230 to give them to order it. So that's kind of on the back burner right now. So I figure we'll do a little bit of cosmetic stuff and get the car running at the very least before we do that. So yeah, so this video may have been a failure, guys, but you know what? It was still fun. So I'll see you in the next one. And remember, a broken car is still an adventure. This one was not exactly the best adventure, but it was still an adventure.